Okay, so it looks like we have a good turnout, but we're having some problems with volume in our room. You think they're fixable, Jerry?
It's not working whatsoever. I mean, I can't even get the volume.
You could just,
Do chat box?
yeah, I would probably just.
Okay, so everyone online, you're going to have to use the chat box. I'm so sorry, but like our volume in this room, it's like overly loud. And so if everyone will mute their mics, and we will, I promise, we'll monitor the chat box. If you can just type in there any questions you have, if you want to participate, we'll see if we can get this to work. So, sorry. Did you reboot again? Or
What?
okay. Okay, so it's 9 o'clock, so I start on time. And let's go around and everyone introduce themselves, because I don't think Becky knows everyone. Becky Unker is here. She's our math specialist up in special education. So will everyone just go around the table, and then we'll get those online. We'll review who's here. So
I'm Amy Peters, and I'm in Weaver School District.
And I'm Mary James. I'm at Jordan School District.
Debbie Ballard in Jordan.
Shelley Keeper, Lori School.
Amy Garlick Davis.
Becky Unker here.
Lisa Crane, Sevier School District.
Terry McCall, Canyon School District.
Robin Rector, Salt Lake District.
Robin Jovikini.
awesome. Okay, so it looks like we have online. Let me see if I can get this. I'm going to start from the beginning. Sherry is online from Grand. Chelsea's here from North St. Pete. Debbie Jensen from Iron. Kim Barfus from Logan. No, Logan. Logan. Sorry, I get Logan and Cash mixed up. Okay. And then Linda's here from Alpine. And Renee Moore.
From USD.
Oh, USDB. Thank you. Okay. And Becky's online. Calling user 3. I'm not quite sure who you are. So you type in the chat box, or you can come on.
They're calling in. I don't know if they can.
Oh, that's true. And there's a calling user 4. I'm so sorry. I'm not quite sure who you are. And Jerry's working on our sound. We may be able to get it fixed. Maybe?
I'm gonna have to reboot everything from the source.
From the
I
top
can do
down.
that, but it will knock everybody off for maybe 5 minutes.
I say keep going. We only have how much time?
Okay, we'll just keep going now. Okay, we'll work with it. It's okay. So, sorry about sound issues, everyone. And Tammy Chu from Uinta is on. Leanne Parkinson from Washington, and Wendy from.
No, she's not in school anymore.
She's not.
No.
Where
Is
did
that,
she go?
are you, is this from Provo?
She's been gone a couple of years.
Yeah.
For transportation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Wendy, I'm not quite sure. If you'll unmute your mic and maybe just talk really soft, we can hear what district you're from, you're representing.
Wouldn't that be fun?
I'm from Kane.
I'm from what?
Is that Kane?
Kane. Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome, thanks. I'm so sorry, it's so loud when it comes on here, so it's all good.
Takes some
Okay,
ability.
so there were a few people that indicated they wanted to start up this roundtable again, and I saw the emails. I think it was back in December. Robin, I think you kind of started going back and forth. So it's all good. We'll start this back up. I just wanted today to be kind of a planning meeting on what you guys would like it to look like for next year, like days you want to meet, how you want to structure it, to talk about topics of interest. Before we get started, though, there's just a few professional development opportunities for next year. I sent out these flyers, but Becky, do you want to talk about the math one?
Well, it's based on the early childhood standards. It's a 5-part series that I've created, 5 2-hour series, and I can deliver it any way you want, but after a couple of years of doing this now, really the best way to deliver this, sorry, I don't know what this is today, but this is what you got. It's best delivered over throughout the year. So do a month and have a month off, like every other month kind of thing. That way it gives the teachers time to implement some of the activities that I brought, and then they can come back and reflect on how they did, if they worked, if they didn't work, and we can kind of problem solve a little bit. I had one question yesterday asking how much it costs. I don't charge. I didn't know that was a thing, but no. So I'll bring all the materials and everything. The group size really, because it is a lot of hands-on, is best if it's around 25. Cap it at 25, like under 25 is much better for me. So just when you get hands-on and you have people playing games and activities, anything over that's really kind of hard. So I can do it, and I have done it.
She did it in Jordan, and it was great. Our teachers liked it, and it was a large group, and so that was it. But we're a challenging group anyway. I'll just put that out there.
Our teachers liked it as well.
But it was really good, and I still see the materials. They loved the materials, and it was kind of stuff they could just go and implement in their classroom. So I highly recommend doing
I
it.
agree.
For me, as a teacher, I didn't like to go sit in professional.
That's a phone.
Okay.
Great meeting, Melissa.
No control.
They didn't want to hear that. So yeah, any questions that you have, I will tell you that my schedule fills up really fast. So if this is something that interests you and you want to get on the schedule, the sooner the better, because yeah, my schedule goes fast. So, yeah, and I come to you. You don't have to come here. I come to you. The only thing that I need is a room where we can spread out a little bit so that there's room to do the activities, and a screen or a blank wall. I can bring a projector if you don't have a projector, but if you have one, that's great too, because it is on PowerPoint. All of the trainings are on PowerPoint. And then, of course, then the hands-on activities. I try to really teach them about the standard, what that standard means, and I don't say this word very well, the trajectory of starting in preschool and being ready for kindergarten. So, and I will warn you that the activities, I may stretch you a little bit, but I like to do that because I don't want us to be all in the same box and in the same mode of doing business as usual. So some teachers have been a little frustrated with me, I'll be honest, because they feel like the kids can't do the activities, and I'm thinking, they're 3 to 5 year olds. How do we know what they can and can't do if we don't give them the opportunity? So just know that that's out there too. But if you have any other questions, I don't feel like I've explained it very well, but if you have any other questions, let me know. My email's on the slide.
We had set that up with you directly. Contact Becky and set it up. There's a Prevent, Teach, Reinforce workshop in August. Phil Strain, one of the authors, is coming to facilitate that. We did UMTSS a few years ago, but felt some people indicated they're struggling to implement it and use it. So this will be like, we'll supply books, 2 coaches or teachers per program to attend. And so their responsibility is that they'll be the experts for their program when you go back to your district to implement it back into the classrooms. So he'll spend all day working through that model with you, and then do 3 or 4 follow-up online sessions just to problem solve. That helps. And so that registration is on Midas. I can send out how to register on Midas too, because that may be new still to some people. And then I forgot to bring this book down, Building Blocks for Teaching Preschoolers with Special Needs. Betsy started this up. It's a good framework. It supplements any curriculum that's out there on helping, especially teachers with CDAs that don't have the special ed background, on how to individualize for the various needs within the classroom. So, and that's like about a 4 to 5 hour training. It just depends. It's actually, we like people to work as teams and to apply the model to certain kids that they're struggling with right now. So hopefully when they go back to the classroom, they can apply it to other students too. So, anyway, and you just contact me for that one. And just an update too, this, because you talked about the standards, they're under revision right now. The literacy and math will probably go to stakeholders pretty quick because they're starting to work on the preschool entry. That will, I think, the grant, people that are, programs that are accessing the grants down here, the high quality grants, they will be participating in that to gather some more data for the legislature because the data we have right now is not very good. So anyway, so the standards are under revision. Math and literacy will go out soon. Will you guys please provide input? I just feel like we need more stakeholder input on the revisions. So they're supposed to be minor revisions, but some people are really getting into it. So I just need some feedback on what you think. So it'd be helpful. All right, so
it would be really important for this group to make some comments because special ed is kind of underrepresented there. So I think it would be really good for you to really take a good look at those because I don't think some of those changes are in the best.
So will something go out to all of us when they're ready? Is that?
there should, and I will make sure that that does.
Is that something that you can bring to the roundtable to
Yeah.
an activity to do? I mean,
Yeah, but
I don't know what your
they're
schedule is.
pushing math and literacy. They want to get those approved so they can start work on the peak. I don't know what they're gonna call it, something like that. To go with the peak. So anyway, yeah, but there's some changes. I'm not. Anyway,
Who gets this information if we're not getting it? Our admin?
well, so
or
it's
what?
in writing committee right now. We had a review committee that looked over and they had some recommendations and they were just kind of minor, but the writing committee, there's some people that are just really getting into it right now and getting a little bit more in depth that I don't know if we need.
So I don't think we can get feedback right now.
Yeah, so not right now, but it will.
It's out and it's pushed out to everybody.
Okay.
Is
Once
there
the-
anybody in special ed on this?
Debbie was on the review committee.
And we just recommended small revisions, but the writing committee has really.
We've got a special ed teacher, Lenee's on the writing
Isn't
committee.
Linda Chadbourne on it also? Is Linda on it?
Oh, yeah, Linda's on it. So I'm just worried about impact on
She
other
said she's on the
things.
literacy committee, she said.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. So I'm just worried about how it'll impact like the dot apps, you know, everybody's done crosswalks. It just, anyway. I would just appreciate your feedback. So that would be helpful. Okay, so scheduling roundtable for next year. I did a little survey, Monday through Fridays. What days do you want to just keep it on one day? Fridays are the most popular, or would you like to do some type of Monday, Friday type thing?
Won't be here, but Tuesdays would be hard for, Jordan, just because that's the special ed meetings, but other than that, I think any day, I won't be here, so. But I'm just saying that the new person who's taken my job will need to be at the Tuesday special ed meetings. So they won't be able to come.
Okay,
Fridays are gonna be really hard for us.
Fridays is hard.
That's
Fridays are
all of
hard.
our training. all
I
of
was
it,
so surprised at that came up so high.
Me too.
Huh, so should we go Mondays? Or Mondays?
If we're in the afternoon, our special ed meetings Monday morning.
So Monday afternoons?
Yeah, that would work.
Okay. Monday afternoon, like 1 to 3, or do you want it closer towards the end of the day? I was
2 to
thinking
4?
2 hours, 2 to 4? 1:30 to 2:30?
I'm taking into account the traffic.
So I'd say.
Yeah.
3:30.
Oh, let's do 1 to 3.
1 to 3.
1 to 3?
I
Okay,
agree.
so Monday's 1 to
1 to
3.
3.
Okay.
I'm always.
And I
Thank you for
will,
saying
so I'll find a room. Do you want to meet monthly, every other month?
No, these, monthly in the olden days, I think,
I
and,
think monthly's a good.
yeah.
What if we started monthly and pushed it back to every other month? If it was too much.
You're going to
It'd
offer
be
an
easier
online
to take
option, right?
away than
Yeah.
to add another.
Because it's
Throwing
been a
it
while
out there.
since we've had it,
Yes.
so.
I mean, I think monthly is great, just because it's been a long time.
Okay, we'll do monthly. Mondays 1 to 3, starting August or September?
September.
September, okay. No, I'm really drilling down here. So Monday, first, second, third, or fourth Monday of the month.
That doesn't matter to me.
Does it, okay,
Second is all.
not second? Preference, okay. So like the third Monday of the month?
Sure.
Okay, we'll go for that. Okay. Is anybody saying anything online?
No, they just asked about an online option.
Okay, yeah, and those online, please put your input in the chat box if you have preference. So right now we're going Mondays, 1 to 3, third Monday of the month, and we'll have the online piece. Okay, so goals for Roundtable. I have not done this before. I've gone to an autism roundtable where Jocelyn kind of conducted things, but how would you like to set up preschool roundtable? How do you want it to function? Does anyone have, how did it function in the past? Did that work well? Do you want to present like a topic and somebody present on it and then discuss questions, or have a topic for the month? People send in questions that we address? You want to do more than one topic a month?
I think it depends upon the topic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of those topics that you have there are pretty heavy duty topics.
Yeah.
They'll take the whole 2 hours.
I'm getting lots of questions. I was
Yep.
going with things I
Yep.
had the most questions on. So,
Mhm.
And one of the things in with that time, I think, is to definitely just allow a time for just networking, because that was a good time to say, gosh, we're really struggling with this, and just to give support amongst the different districts with ideas and such. That was always very helpful when we did it before.
okay, so time at the end, maybe the last half hour,
Mhm.
just to, okay. So I'll schedule the room for 2 hours. And probably a half hour beforehand so we can get set up, but hopefully a good sound system working.
There's a comment, what if we do what the directors are doing at Dirty Dozen? We could send, I think, in things we would want on the agenda, things that may be on fire, and then we could discuss them as a group.
Oh,
I
like
like
that?
I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay, we'll do that. So,
That came from Kim Purpose.
Yeah.
so starting out from September, do you want to go from the list that it was generated here, or would you rather me just email out and say, what would you like to start with in September? I mean, either way.
Do we want to just choose what our September one is right now?
That would be
Yeah, I think we
helpful
should.
for me, just like,
Yeah.
start focusing. And it doesn't have to be on this list, it could be something else.
I kind of feel like I really want to know what other, I mean, I've seen IEPs come in, but I would love to have a good discussion on how everybody's writing their delivery system, their services, because I almost feel like as a state, we might want to kind of write them the same if possible. And so it's an easier transition for the children when they move from one district to another. I don't know if it would take a whole lot of time or not, because it seems like we're.
I think it will.
I think it will, yeah, I think it will.
Okay.
Because I think there's reasons why we all write them the way
The way
we
we
do.
do.
Right,
Mhm. Because every one of us do things differently.
right.
But
But I
it
think
would
it's
be a
like
good
conversation.
discussion.
Okay, okay, we do it.
It's for the
That would
month.
be a good
Yeah, it does,
too.
yeah, so that if we wanted to make changes, then we could hopefully get it out.
Okay, how about, do you want me to send out a survey beforehand of how you're currently writing your IEPs, or, I don't know, what would be on the survey? What would be
Just
something
bring
to
it,
start with?
just bring it.
Just bring your IEPs and just go from there?
Are you talking, so service pattern, pop-ups, I mean, what are we,
Well,
what's the main topics?
for me, it's looking at the service time
Pattern.
and how people are writing them and how.
And whether they're saying
I would love to
special
get
ed,
input
general
on why
ed,
people write them the way they do
and how
and
much
things
they-
like that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a big thing, because it's really hard to figure out
It
what
is.
services kids are getting, because the way we write them.
Figure out the minutes.
Yeah,
It is.
You know, and especially since, the scram is 5 days a week and it doesn't reflect.
So this is getting into some deeper things on
Yep.
some other questions we had, because preschool funding is at a flat rate. I was just
Correct.
reviewing this with Betsy, and it's only by Scram environment code. So
Correct.
Right.
what Betsy said,
It's a
if you're
head count.
tracking minutes,
It's a head count, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
It doesn't
it's
matter.
your,
Yeah.
it's just your preference if you're
It's a head
tracking
count.
minutes.
Since it's for Medicaid billing too.
Yes.
And we just went through a significant Medicaid audit, which was
are,
Painful.
yeah, painful is the word I think I was looking for. So it does matter for that purpose, if you're billing Medicaid. it
Minutes on the
matters.
IEP?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yes, it does.
Okay, I didn't
And I also think with
know.
families transferring,
So it does,
they,
Oh,
it
Right, so we're not
matters.
doing ABC codes, so,
Yeah.
right, that
Yeah.
doesn't matter,
Yeah.
and it's a head count, but it does matter for.
Because we have to keep logs of
Absolutely.
meeting
Personal
those
cares,
minutes.
we have to do that.
I mean, I'll give you one example where, I mean, if you're missing something on that IEP, like nursing services, they make you pay it back.
I have a couple districts in the state that are paying.
Yeah.
We're paying back.
I mean, not me, we
Ours is not finalized, so I don't know where it's gonna land, but it does matter.
We don't have to.
Leanne Parkinson, suggested you possibly.
Is it really, I mean, I feel bad.
And then
for them
she
too,
agreed
because
that
they're trying to
Medicaid
train us on
is
something they know.
But it also feels like the rules kind of exactly change over time, and then they're applying a rule
They've never trained on.
right, and that may or may not be recent, but it wasn't.
And they don't know
Told to
preschool
us.
special ed, so it's really.
It's a hard thing all the way around.
okay, who wants to talk about Medicaid minutes at September
Well, I mean,
meeting?
as.
I am not an expert on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just identifying service type.
Okay.
Yeah, we could talk about it.
Okay,
And I think too, for our families, that, you know, they might be going to a granted Title I preschool 4 days a week or 5 days a week. But when we look at the special ed minutes, for us, it only justifies a 2-day a week. And so families get very confused on that. And so we're calling saying, gosh, was this a Title I preschool? Is that why they were going that long, that many times and such? And so, because we do placement on special ed minutes. It's a game out there. It's like,
yeah.
This will be a really long discussion.
Yeah.
It'll probably be
It'll go
two
more
times.
than, it'll go
That's what
more
I was
than one meeting.
Do you want to
Yeah.
still keep this for September then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it benefits
All
the
right, we throw
district
this out of
and
here,
show
it's
the
not gonna
priority.
be pretty, but does anybody wanna meet in August and talk about this so that we all know what to say and when we're talking?
I was just thinking that because
I
we're
really-
meeting the third
Yeah.
Monday in
I
September,
think
that's a
if we,
little.
if
late.
if we're going to make changes, I would love to do it at the very beginning versus trying to make people change after they've already.
Prevent,
Yeah.
teach, reinforce, I have that day. I have it scheduled that day.
On which,
The 20th, yeah,
In August.
yeah.
Do people work through June? Does everyone work through June, or is everyone done at the end of the
I
contract
kind of
year?
work the whole time.
I work the whole year.
I'm here.
I mean, do we want to look at a June meeting?
June would be awesome.
I'll be
We're all
expired.
so.
I'll be out of here.
A June meeting would be great for our
16th or
program,
June
just because
30th.
of the new person that's
Anyone have
taking
a
my
preference?
job.
Well, it'd be
What's
great
that?
for you and the new person to come together because you have wisdom.
No. I heard she applied yet, I didn't know she got it, that's awesome.
You don't work.
Sounds great.
I'll take notes and record it. If you can't attend, we'll record it and send out the link. And I'll try to take the best notes I can during the discussion. So, June, the 16th or 30th, I think is what I said. Which date?
16th is a Saturday, I won't be here.
Oh, I'm in July, sorry. Oh, June.
18th or 20th.
The 18th is a systems conference. So we could do, this PIPS review.
Can you do earlier in June?
11?
Right.
11th would be awesome.
Okay,
11th of what?
June.
of June.
11th of June works great for me too.
That would be awesome.
Hold it, I'm still looking. Takes me a while. Yes, I do. It's a Monday, it looks good.
Okay.
Oh, good. Let's
I just need to find a room. I'll work on that after this meeting.
Okay.
And then I'll let everybody know. So,
Linda Chadburn has four standard meetings from
What do you call it?
8:30 to 11:30.
it'll be 1 to 3, Linda.
Okay.
Yes, and
On June
Leanne will
11th?
tape it.
Yeah.
1 to 3, June 11th.
Okay.
I'm guessing you'll meet again sometime in July or August. So we-
Yeah.
Be solved.
I imagine that.
We'll drive by.
What time? 1 o'clock.
You are on the dessert committee.
Do you want to do one in August too, while we're at it? because that, August is a little bit booked too. I have a Daisy
Trying
conference.
to do August or July?
Yeah, I'd rather not do August.
Not do August?
Yeah.
Okay, so July 9, 16, or 30th. I'm counting out the 23rd because 24th is a holiday. People.
I can't do the 9th and I can't do the June date either. Could we maybe try and pick a July one that?
That you can go to?
Yeah, that'd be great.
9, 16, or 30.
I can do
30.
16, or I can do, I think. I can
We
do
do
either
30?
of those.
Kim says the 16th.
Yes, I could do
Logan.
that.
Okay, so we'll do the 16th.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't be there, so someone take notes for me.
We'll take them.
Take notes and we'll tape it. Jerry,
Ask me why I can't come.
what did Linda just
You're
say?
gonna be somewhere fun, I bet.
Fiji.
Oh,
Nice.
so you'll want to for sure Skype in, right?
Oh, totally. Totally.
July 16th.
Rita.
Oh, January and February are holidays. Linda just noticed too. Or they're
Huh?
Mondays in January. Sorry, January and
Yeah, Mondays
February.
are bad that way.
Our
There's
holidays.
Lots of holidays.
So, jump to the
Fourth.
second or fourth? Okay, for those,
From September on?
no, just for January and February, we'll
Oh,
go to
just
the
for those.
fourth Fridays.
I don't know. I was wondering what's going on with your screen.
Just gotta jump ahead and look to see if there's anything. Well, I'm not scheduled out that far, so. The 28th. And then the 25th of February. Should be fine. Okay. So someone else said U-Pods, they want to talk U-Pods. You want to just go meeting to meeting and determine what you want to talk next? I'm usually a planner. I want to be thinking ahead, but we can go meeting to meeting, that's fine. Hey, what else can I do to help everyone out here? Since you're all here together. I'm still learning some things myself. And I talked to Betsy quite a bit to confirm some things, and Debbie. While you're all here.
Okay, so we're doing delivery. We'll check that off. And
I
then,
guess that's that one too, right?
yeah, that was mine.
Okay. Well, service delivery models is a little bit different than
Right.
writing IEPs.
Right.
Service delivery,
there
like
were-
where kids are at, it's more LRE kind of stuff and how you're providing faith.
As preschool has been, more grants are available, and they are working with the legislature to get additional funding after these grants are completed. People are looking at ways to fund preschool and what models, co-teaching versus the CDA versus the SPED teachers, a lead teacher, which is the most efficient way to run a classroom. I don't know.
I think it just depends on the makeup of your kids. I mean, if it's primarily special ed, then it doesn't make a whole lot of sense not to have a special ed teacher. If it's primarily, typical kids with a few special ed, and CDAs may work just fine. I mean, I think it's just
I did a kind of a cost analysis when we were looking at our district and adding another person. So if my special ed teacher is running my 50-50 class,
Mhm.
then I don't have to pay for another person to come in. Does that make sense? I mean, it based on my time, based on evaluation procedures of all those people, it actually is almost a wash in order to keep a special ed teacher as the lead teacher. Because then they can provide the services to those students that are already in the classroom.
It's
Does that make sense?
interesting too, what is gonna happen if the Utah State's program isn't renewed, because how many highly qualified people will we continue to be able to find, just because at least for us, that is a huge source that we hire from. I mean, 8 out of our 11 teachers graduated from the Utah State Early Childhood Program. So if that is no more, that changes things too, based
It sure
on
does.
who you can hire, who's out there to hire.
So Crystal Thomas is our licensing expert up in special ed. We are working on getting preschool out of the ARL. I don't know if it'll be in place for September.
I just don't know how you.
Talks with Travis.
how we do
Isn't
that.
it already get rid of it?
No.
What?
Well,
How
the
would
ones
that
that are
look like?
Well, ones that are currently in place can finish up,
Yeah,
but they're
they
not
can finish
accepting
up.
any new candidates.
But I
for this
think
fall.
that they've been given a grant opportunity again, right? I kind of
I know
heard
the
that.
University of Utah wrote a letter to ask for support on that.
But
But I don't know if USU
I think I,
They are reapplying.
They were
but
allowed to apply, but
Yeah.
there was no guarantee on whether that would be funded.
Apparently a survey went out to all the special ed directors on what the priorities were for funding, and preschool was down on the list.
You know,
So-
it is.
Because it hasn't made their radar, because there hasn't been a shortage, but once there is, then it will make their radar.
and then who would be responsible for doing the ARL stuff? Would it come down on programs? Because if it comes down on me or the person who will be me to do all the training, that is not going to happen.
No,
I mean, I would never hire those people.
no.
We've been talking with the gals over here that do Arrow, because I was trying to figure out how this program works. And apparently they review everything that they have in place, their coursework that's completed, coursework that we feel they need to fill that position. And right now, we're seeing that candidates could either come with a special ed background or an elementary background. So we see kind of two different tracks for each group of, and so they make up a plan for them apparently, of what they need to complete. So we'll probably be sending out some surveys to you guys on what you feel would be best for each track that you feel that they would need to complete in order to fulfill their ARL piece. So, I don't
I
know.
want special ed people.
I
I want people that have high knowledge in language development and social
We've
development.
already talked so much about that, we just feel like they don't even get enough student teaching experience.
Yeah.
Right now, to be going out, and so now it's like another.
I mean, I
step
wouldn't
backwards.
want that.
So it'll be up to you. We're just trying to look at some other options just to help out some way. So,
I mean, it's just, it would be.
We had a good option.
We did
Yeah,
have a good
exactly.
option,
We had a good
and why
option.
they would even
That is
consider
the
doing away with
problem.
that
Yeah,
program is
excellent.
the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is a good option.
I'm sure you got an earful from lots of people about it.
Linda online has said, I'm so concerned about this because I have to hire 3 to 4 new people and there aren't people with the credential.
Nope.
I'm not even getting gen ed or SPED people, only people. Do they think the ARL option might be in place for this fall?
I don't know. I really don't.
I mean, I just feel bad for the preschool children in the state of Utah. That's the direction that we're moving. That's so sad.
So.
Because on one hand, you're doing this nice policy thing to get all of these programs in place, and then you're not doing anything to support the teachers. That makes no sense.
We got two different departments too.
Running it.
Yes.
You got teaching and learning that's more concerned about teachers having a CDA at least versus special ed. So it's different.
Now she's asking if she should just hold off on hiring.
I have no clue how to advise her at this point. So I was hoping.
That's what I'm doing.
They're not even
Holding off.
No, I'm hiring whoever.
We have
I need
that
one.
we don't, that maybe we
I think
can
I've
get
done,
the
but I
the
just,
programs
but I have
back
to
at
hire
University of Utah and Utah State to say, we have
Because
to fill
people leave
positions
when
because
people
a lot of them
hire.
are qualified.
I
And so we
know.
keep
In
lowering
mass quantity.
our standards
it's
of,
been really sad.
I think
of
there's,
quality.
I think there's a couple different messages that are getting out though,
Yeah.
because I'm hearing from my teachers that are in the current program
Uh-huh.
that the universities they're scaring them, saying that the state office is gonna pull this out and we're gonna be left with nothing. But then I'm hearing another side of it, that they're not necessarily pulling it out, but the funding that has been awarded to some universities isn't being used appropriately. And we have some universities that's the only way they even have a special ed program is because the state office funds it entirely. So they're using that money to pay their staff, and none of that money is trickling to the people for
But they're getting a
tuition.
degree, I mean, they're getting a way to make an income. I think that it's kind of, I don't think the data is being presented in a very, I don't know. I mean, it's hard when I hear that because the university that they're referring to has built programs based around what the state and people in the trenches and districts, thank you, have identified as needs. So then to turn around and say, well, we're giving all our money to you, so it's not trickling down to students, but those programs were built around district needs. So that's a really, I think, unfair way to state that.
We were told they aren't getting enough applicants, just like any teaching job. People are not going to universities to get teaching positions.
Well, and that's part of the ARL thing, that's what's gonna happen, but I mean, why go to
But I
school
would say
if
for
you
Utah
can?
State, I was sending people every year.
I was sending
We were
people
too.
every year,
Year.
and they put out quality teachers better than anyone, so.
Because I can grow them the way I want them to be.
Yeah, and then thinking back to the survey that was sent out to special ed directors, I think I was at the meeting, it was in St. George. It wasn't a survey, what happened is they handed you a stack of 3x5 cards, and it had every professional that works in special ed. And it was district directors that sat around in small groups, like small LEA, medium LEA, large LEA, and you hierarchically, is that a word? Hierarchy.
Makes it sound smart.
You prioritize.
Thank you. I'll just let you say.
No.
But you put them in a hierarchy, that's a word, from the professionals that is the biggest need to the least amount of need, I guess. But I think that's tough because you're not talking, I mean, it's comparing apples to oranges. Do you know what I mean? Like it was behavior specialists, psychologists, special ed preschool teachers, RBT, speech language pathologists. I might have already said that one. But I just felt like we weren't talking apples to apples. And then there was no discussion. They came and took a picture of it, and that was the sum total of the survey.
Oh.
So I don't know, unless there was something else that happened, but that is how they were prioritized. It was an activity with whoever attended the St. George meeting about a month ago, maybe 2. And then, you just, a huge group where it's really hard to have that kind of in-depth discussion, and the whole activity took 45 minutes. And I think we're making big decisions that are gonna have big impact on a very brief kind of activity.
I think the survey or whatever they did took place earlier though, back in the fall.
Okay,
I
that
was
might be,
getting,
but they did that at the,
word of it, before Betsy even left.
But with LEAs, if they're doing it with special ed directors, LEAs, they are not gonna put preschool as a priority. There is absolutely no way, shape, or form, because we are a small percentage of the big picture. So we're going to be the very last, and I see this in our district. They're gonna hire all the speech therapists they have to their school age programs before they would even consider sending one to preschool. But I mean, I now can do my own, and they don't like it when I do that, but I do it anyway because it's the only way I'm gonna find them. But they're gonna take care of themselves first, and then we're gonna be taking care of the very end.
And it's horrible that you say they're gonna take care of themselves first, when we are part of themselves.
But they don't.
Right, but they don't see it that way, so we've got to get them to see us, we have to
I've
follow
been killing
all the
myself
same
for
rules that
years
they
to
have
trying to get them to do that, and it just, I mean.
Not everyone's that way. There are other districts that aren't.
Yeah.
But I have a really good director, so
And I do too.
she really has made preschool a priority, so she's
That's awesome.
retiring. So we will see what happens. But
Kathy's
Kathy's retiring. So we'll see what happens, but I feel like we've worked really hard to make sure preschool is a
In the
part
forefront.
of everybody. So, I mean, I still feel somewhat,
I mean, our district
way,
is
but not
working
totally.
really hard to make preschool a priority, but
Well, the APRs are starting to do that for them,
yeah.
right? The
I know.
indicators.
Oh, yeah.
oh,
They're
yeah,
starting to pay attention.
Getting calls.
Yep, they're starting to pay attention.
that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're on the surface now, but it's taken a lot of
Yeah.
work,
I agree.
and will still take a lot of work.
That's
And then
true.
if you don't have quality teachers, and I mean,
Just banging your head against.
yeah. I don't even know.
Yep, yep, yep. Yay, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah. Like, I think this is a good time for this group to come
It is.
together.
It's a great time.
So Melissa, thank you. I believe this is a good time for this group
And
to
don't
come
panic,
together.
Melissa, you don't have to know everything.
I don't know everything.
That's okay, you don't have to know everything.
Betsy doesn't
No.
either, but we'll work it
You
out.
don't have to know everything.
Because she was telling you nothing on the times. So anyway, Linda, we need to talk
On the
Make sure.
times of,
on service times on the IEPs.
Oh.
And how it relates to Medicaid. So
I think
anyway,
that's
I'm
recent.
in the back of my
That's
head, I'm
super-
thinking, I need
Yeah,
to
you
follow up on a couple of things. So it's all good. We'll figure it out.
and
So
Medicaid is sending different messages to different people.
Mhm.
So
I've got that
messages, there's
Yeah.
lots of
That
different
was-
mixed messages.
That was one thing I thought maybe we could bring to the roundtable is have someone from Medicaid come and tell us all the same thing. But I'm afraid at the same time because I heard, we've called different districts to figure it out and then called Medicaid. And it's amazing what Medicaid specifically told districts. And then when we called them, they said something different because they don't understand
So I have
themselves. So.
emailed back and forth with the Medicaid program manager, Kelly Garcia. I think she's over everything. Would you want her to come?
That would be.
Because she had to straighten out one of the districts on the information that they were receiving. Would that be helpful or not?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
I think
first,
we
and
should
then
think
if I want to, I can bring her in.
Because I
So
don't know
she's
what
actually,
questions, we haven't had a discussion, so
Yeah, I
then
think we
is
need to
it
discuss
our
Okay.
first before we
form
bring
kind
it.
of?
I would love to hear as a group what they have to say, and if we have some good specific preschool questions, maybe we could give them beforehand, they could come prepared.
I'm thinking that eventually by having someone come in, it kind of holds them accountable, saying, this is what you presented to us. This is what you said the sandbox looks like. And that way, instead of just getting lots of different
And
things,
then
do that eventually.
I'd love to invite my person that does our Medicaid
Yeah,
to
mine
this
would love to
meeting
come.
too, because
Mine would love to
again,
come.
that's another person that doesn't necessarily understand special ed, and they're trying to make it all work, so it's a mess.
So our,
And I
our
feel bad
Medicaid
for
person
everybody.
would be great. She understands the whole process. She would be great. She understands preschool. We've worked super hard. And when we had our audit, we did great. And it was just because of how we do our lesson plans. So we embed the speech therapist into the lesson plans and so she plans with them and puts what she's doing into the lesson plan, and that
And then you
justified.
keep the logs then, and then signing off on them, that was a big deal.
Yeah, and
So-
and that's how it works for us.
Right, and that's what we called, I think, your person,
Really?
who seemed to know what was going on, and you guys have had ongoing audits
On
on
the
them. It was amazing,
Like
we
as a
called, we
service
talked to
type.
you guys,
And
then we
then-
called, who's under Kelly, it was
The
someone
behavior
else.
intervention plan.
Can't remember.
That's
Anyways.
what's caught us.
Oh.
Well,
from
I'm not
Medicaid,
sure
the behavior
if that's really
intervention
what
plan
we
on
should
the
be
IEP.
doing.
That's what's caught us.
It
It worked for us. on the
I know, but it was
As a service.
interesting when you called
As a
them.
service.
Our
For
Medicaid
Medicaid.
person knows quite a bit too.
We've never
Uh-huh.
done
And she's gotten 3 different.
We've
Yeah.
never put, like toileting
that.
on
Teacher-directed
for
communication.
2 minutes a day, they made us
But it's
start.
personal
Yeah,
care.
See,
we don't do that
see,
either,
and that's-
5 minutes a day or whatever.
Yeah.
So since I left,
Oh, yeah.
And what
Yeah.
so then
Yes, if.
But I think we should have a discussion first.
Yeah.
And then bring it to
On
the
the IEP,
Yeah.
for like 5 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we haven't had to do
And
that.
maybe everybody bring their forms.
Behavior intervention plans, toileting, personal health care needs,
Yeah.
teacher-directed, motor teacher-directed communication, that's all on our IEPs for Medicaid services.
Yep.
We don't.
okay, we need to get on the same
That's
page.
where
This will be good.
That's where we're
Okay.
going.
Yeah, that's.
Because we can get it stuff on.
Okay, I will schedule the room for June and July, going for, we won't do one in August.
No.
And then
I
I'll-
said no, because some of this is developmentally appropriate for 3 and 4
What
years.
did we say?
June 11th,
Just because
July
we help them wash
16th.
their hands doesn't mean we're putting it on.
Are you writing these down somewhere for me?
Correct.
Okay, so add that.
July 16th, okay,
And September.
and September.
Okay.
Okay.
Because it's very specific.
We're not toilet, is it?
I just have
Who
third
required
Monday.
that type of, that level of personal care. So we've made a, here's the line. Because otherwise everybody would,
17?
Yeah, I mean.
based on the definitions.
And everyone would have a behavior plan.
Correct.
Everyone would
Correct, so
have,
we've made a line.
I mean, so. that's-
Okay, if anyone has feedback,
Yeah, just keep saying that, Debbie.
90
days.
I know.
We snagged,
I just checked it this morning. I don't check it every day. This morning, my kids put a little app on my phone.
Oh, yeah.
My kids put an app on my phone, so this morning I thought, oh, I'm just gonna check how long. That's how I know.
so we snagged her for an RP2 coach. She's not going too far away.
You don't look very happy.
I actually, it's mixed.
Yeah.
She's mixed.
After yesterday is a happy thing. Seeing you guys is a sad thing.
So,
Yeah.
and her retirement, did I send that out?
And Mary and I are retiring together because
Yeah.
we didn't want to have a retirement party, but they're making us. So it's going to be May 22nd. Where? At 3:30 at Kari Soup.
Linda's asking if someone is taking notes that can be sent out to the group.
Yeah, I'll try. I got lost taking notes. I'll look at Amy's.
But maybe that's something you can put in.
Yes, yeah. We'll get a note taker for the next meeting because I have a hard time facilitating and taking.
You probably have better notes.
She has great notes.
I have just my
Will you send me
laptop.
notes and send out? Thank you,
We
Lisa.
should do a note taker every time.
Yeah.
And a timekeeper.
And a timekeeper. So let's
Just
just,
on
yeah.
track.
So they're doing an HQSR meeting right after this one. So if you need to stay, you can stay. And if you have feedback or any other input, just email me. So
I think this is a
get this worked out. Oh, good. Good, I hope so. And if you need help, individual help on any of those indicators, ECTA Center actually just put out some new modules on indicator 7. If you go to ectacenter.org and type in COS modules, they're free. You have to register for them, but they're kind of awesome. There's like 8 different modules. I condensed all the PowerPoints. I could send this out. I condensed all the PowerPoints into one big one.
That'd be great.
And I can send that out to you if you don't want to go through the modules individually, but there's little learning activities you can do individually or as a group. So,
Yeah.
and then if you don't know how to on UPODs get your individual student data for like last year, so you can like just do a data drill down looking at entry and exit scores, I can send that out too. Does anyone know how to interested in that? I don't know. Maybe if you already know how to do that piece. So, you can pull up individual students and look at their entry and their exit score.
It exports as an Excel file.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
It's kind of nice because you can see if somebody is not on the same page as everybody else and if scoring is inconsistent. So, yeah, I'll send that out too on how to find that. Anything else? Okay, we're all good. Thanks for showing up.
Thank you.